Alrighty guys, so we are back and we have another video going on today. This one's going to be relatively interesting because it was relatively unexpected. I didn't think it was going to be happening for a while at least. But we have the gaming PC and we have a box. This box contains awesome. So just a little over a month ago, I decided to upgrade the PC from the A6 5400K to the Athlon quad-core 760K, and it's been performing great. But it still wasn't all too awesome for rendering video and that sort of thing, because it was a budget and quad-core from AMD, and it did fine in gaming, but I was still hitting the CPU pretty hard in the games that I play and the rendering and everything. So, in order to rectify the situation, I decided to buy about $300 worth of stuff. Now, in order to get this $300, I had to sell off the Dell laptop, the Inspiron or Precision 4500M. So the i7 Dell was no longer with me, but its sacrifice will be for good reason. So I'm gonna pause the video and go ahead and get this box open and show you just exactly what I bought. Alrighty, so in the box we have the standard Newegg packaging, and it looks like some of the bags might be a little bit, no, it wasn't popped, it's just not incredibly inflated. But the packaging does seem relatively good. So let's get all that out of the way. Now, not everything that I ordered has come. There's a couple of things, just small things, that won't be here for a little while because they're shipping from Asia, and it's 5 to 15 day shipping. This took approximately 4 days to get here from ordering and everything. It was just the free shipping. So, what did I spend $300 on, you may ask? Well, let's get to the most important part, if I don't break it by dropping it, which is awesome. I spent most money on the AMD FX 8320E 8-core processor from AMD. Now, this was $137.99, I do believe, and for the price and performance you get from it, I could have gotten the regular 8320, but the 8320E has a lower TDP at the sacrifice of a lower stop clock. It's like 3.2 gigahertz versus 3.5, but it's more efficient, and I've heard there's been quite a few improvements on the E version of the 8 cores. They're more energy efficient and a bit better silicon, all that sort of thing. So we'll have to see if that really, stacks up. I've heard you could easily overclock these to anywhere from the base clock of the 8320, 8350 upwards to like 4.6 gigahertz without issues, as long as you have decent cooling. And speaking of cooling, we have the Arctic Freezer A11 CPU cooler. It's got a 6-year warranty, nice big heatsink, 92mm fan, I do believe, anti-vibration mounts. So that is the cooler that will be going on this thing. It's fairly weighty. So that's the cooler. We also have a 4-pack of some Cooler Master 120mm fans. I think these are 4-pin, 3-pin powered, so should be interesting. Supposedly they're silent, but it was $15 for a 4-pack, so not expecting anything totally amazing. I just want some fans to put in the top and rear of this thing. I already have the stock 120 fan in the front of it behind the mesh grill, so that should be interesting. And then we have my cable extensions, which it showed a lot more connected to this than what is currently in this package. So I'll have to look and see if there's anything else that comes with that. Maybe not. But this is just my fan header extensions for running those 4 fans. We also have a 100 pack of zip ties because I had no zip ties. So for $3 I got 100 zip ties, which you really can't complain. And finally, the motherboard, of which is the most expensive motherboard I've ever bought in my life, believe it or not. I went with the MSI 970 gaming motherboard. Has the killer LAN, the audio boost too, supports the AMD FX series, and looks pretty badass. I do like the box that this comes in. I like the gaming series logo. Has the military grade rating, and Sound Blaster Cinema audio. Supports 2 GPUs. There's 2 PCIe slots on this motherboard. Not ideal for Crossfire configuration or SLI. They run one is 8x and one is 16x, but it's still plenty of bandwidth for 2 cards. I don't think you'll run into any issues with that. But let me get this box open here. And inside, if I can get it out without breaking anything, because we're all about professionalism here. And it's anti-static bag. You can't quite see it, but you'll be able to see it once I get everything out of their packages, which I'm not going to do until I'm entirely made sure I'm discharged and everything and get the system disassembled. But it comes with the motherboard there. I'm sure under here is the rest of the things I'd expect. Have the driver CD, which is falling out of its package. All of the I/O plate, SATA cables, and everything else you'd expect. So yeah, this is what $300 gets you. An 8-core motherboard, CPU cooler, and miscellaneous other things. So enough of my rambling. Let's go ahead, put all this stuff to the side, and get the system disassembled. I'll get back to you when that is done. Alrighty, well, we're making progress. Got the system stripped down to its just the bare case with the optical drive and hard drives in it now. Got the 500 watt power supply over there and everything else over here in a big mess, along with the old motherboard and backplate. So got the GPU over there. So I'm going to start installing this stuff and kind of wiping down the case a little bit because it's got a bit of dust in there. It was used for quite a long time and is rarely shut down now, so it runs a lot. Also, side note on this power supply, if anybody is on the fence about getting the EVGA 500 watt bronze powered or certified power supply, totally do it. This thing has been rock solid with this power supply in there. Everything is totally quiet, so it's been a great power supply. Not to mention the fangirl on this thing looks amazing. It doesn't have like the 0 RPM fan or anything like that, but it is a solid power supply. But alright, I'm gonna get the scariest part over with, which is taking the motherboard out of its static package and installing it. So let's get on with that. I'll get back to you guys when the motherboard's in. Well, alright guys, motherboard is installed and that's what she looks like. The MSI Gaming Series. Nice, really nice heat-synced chipset and VRMs. So geared for overclocking. There's a slow mode switch on the motherboard right there, I guess if your overclock fails or something. But we have the CPU fan header there, a system fan header there, another 4-pin system fan head, or another 4-pin system fan header right there. Sorry to burp. And another 3-pin system fan header right there. So this thing is most definitely not short on fan headers. It also has one right there that says system fan So yeah, most definitely geared for fans, which is really nice. I have plenty of options to set this thing up. So let me start getting components installed. I gotta install the CPU cooler, RAM, all that other good stuff, and I'll get back to you when that stuff's done. Okay, so I started this build at 1 o'clock. It is now 3:42 in the afternoon. This is where we stand. Everything is installed, CPU cooler is installed, top fans are installed, power supply, everything is wired up and cable managed as best it's gonna get. The case fan cables are not sleeved and they're only 3-pin, so they don't look aesthetically pretty, but honestly I could care less. I just need functionality. This motherboard was really well set up for this. The fan header extension cable thing that I bought thinking I would need, I actually didn't. The fan cables were long enough that the rear case fan runs down to the header down here, and these two, well, this one runs to the board there and this one runs to the board up there, and I still have the front system fan header if I need it. So that's really awesome. Everything is nice and set up and ready to go. As you can see, cable management back there was incredibly tight. And also this here, the 4/8-pin power connector was once again too short to be ran up through here and over there, so it has to be run up like this, cable tied right here and up to the 8-pin. And as you can see, there's still not even a whole lot of slack with that, so I am really disappointed with the length of the 8-pin CPU power connector on this power supply. That is my only gripe with it, is the length of the 24-pin and the 8-pin power connector is incredibly short. And this is only a mid-tower case, so if you had a full tower case, there's no way in hell you would reach up near your CPU connectors and things, depending on your motherboard design. So I'd like to see longer cables on that. That'd be really nice. But yep, everything is wired up and ready to go. So I'll move this thing into my bedroom and get it all hooked up, and we'll go from there. Now, I highly doubt Windows 8 is going to boot, because it's going from that motherboard with the A75M chipset to this with a 970 chipset and an entirely different processor and everything. Also, AMD, you should be totally ashamed of yourselves, and I'll show you why. This CPU is an 8-core, 3.2 gigahertz processor, and what AMD thinks is suitable to cool this is this factory dinky ass heatsink. Okay, look at how thin and stupidly cheesy this heatsink and fan is. Okay, like, come on. I expected that with my A6 dual core, but you don't ship a cooler like this with a processor like that. You don't. You're asking for a fried CPU and thermal shutdowns and things. Like, this thing would have to run like a bat out of hell to keep it like in wraps. My A6 was a 65 watt TDP processor and it ran 70 Celsius with this cooler, which is why I was using the Phenom quad core cooler that was on there. This is the 95 watt version of the 8 core. It would probably thermal throttle all the time on this cooler. This is pathetic, AMD. I mean, if I'm paying $140 for a processor, you could at least throw in a bit beefier heatsink. Like, it didn't even come with the Phenom type coolers on it. It came with the piece of shit aluminum heatsink. I am so disappointed in that. Why? How can you expect that to work? But anyway, that is my rant on this cooler. Let's go get this thing hooked up and I'll be back with you in a bit. Alrighty guys, we are hooked up and in the room, and I don't think my camera's focusing very well, but oh well. I got everything plugged in the back here. Haven't flipped the master switch or done anything yet, so if anything blows up, well, you're experiencing it firsthand with me. So, 3, 2, 1, master switch. Alright, got no odd sounds or anything like that. And 3, 2, 1, power button. Cool, we have lights, and the audio boost thing on the screen, or on the motherboard lit up. We have a beep, or not a beep, but a post. So let's go ahead and press F1 to run setup. Let me guess, it's not detecting my USB keyboard. Yep, probably not. We'll give it a minute, see what happens. But the Audio Boost 2.0 down there, as you can see, is lighting up like it's supposed to, and looks all cool, and my camera's not going to focus on it because it's a piece of crap. But all the fans are in fact running. Let me go grab the flashlight, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so as you can see, all the fans are in fact running. System is totally quiet. Here next to the CPU fan. I can't believe how quiet this is. And we are also now in the BIOS, and look at that temperature. 24 Celsius on the CPU, 26 Celsius on the motherboard. Man, it is running cool and quiet. Frequency of 3.2 gigahertz. It detected the 8 gigs of 1600 megahertz RAM. It's got a nice little interface. You could use your mouse. Got a hardware monitor. You could set your temperature limits. CPU fans running at 1000 RPM. System fan 1 is 600 RPM. And system fan 2 is apparently not monitored. So, oh, it only displays, I forgot about that. It will only display, or so I think, 1 RPM for all of the fans. So I think that's how that works, but I'm not sure. We'll turn the minimum fan speed down, and we want the temperature target to about 60 Celsius, no more, because the temperature limit for the socket is 62 Celsius and the temperature limit for the CPU is 70 Celsius, so you don't want it getting up all that high. So far, this thing is really nice. Manual fan speed. Just let me adjust it. Ah, it does. I didn't think these fans responded to PWM, but as you can see, RPM is coming up to about 1000, and I do believe that is the top fans here, which is nice. So awesome. We'll run those at 50%. Should be fine. System fan 2. It doesn't seem to be monitored. I don't think I can change that, but I don't know. Which one is this? Yeah, the front motherboard header there would be system fan 2. That's why it's not seeing it. So awesome. So far, I like this this BIOS. So that's set up. We're up to 27 Celsius. Advanced Windows 8 configuration, MSI Fast Boot, Windows 8 feature. Enable support for Windows 8. I'm going to enable this, but I don't want Fast Boot enabled because it tends to make it where you can't get into the BIOS as easy. Overclock. Man, this motherboard is nice. So, yeah, memory Z, memory speed, 1600 megahertz. So this thing is really, really nice. Detects both hard drives and the DVD-ROM drive. And it's holding right around 28 Celsius so far. The CPU should be under full load because it's in the BIOS. No frequency, turbo core control. Alright, let's do the big test here. Let's see if the motherboard, or the, no, quit without saving. Where is, save configuration reset. Okay, let's see if it's going to boot Windows 8. I highly doubt it. I absolutely highly doubt it. If it does, awesome. It'll save me the time of reinstalling, but I highly doubt it. So it's booting from the UEFI, or UEFI. What is this? Oh, hang on. Control Alt Delete. I have to skip this, I think. I have no idea what this is. Let's see if I shall. Oh, maybe not. Hang on. I have to press escape to skip that. I don't know what this is. I really don't. I'm gonna pause the video and figure this out, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, so after messing about with it for a bit, I reset everything back to stock settings in the BIOS. Apparently I must have changed the setting or something that was causing it to boot into that. But it's trying to boot to Windows 8 right now. Just started to try, so let's see how far it gets. My guess is it's going to be a sad face blue screen thing, and I'm going to have to reinstall Windows, which is bad because it was a Windows 7 upgrade, so I'm going to have to install Windows 7 and upgrade to Windows 8 to use the Windows 8 key, which is awesome. But yeah, we'll see how far this goes. But so far, hard drive light and power light are incredibly bright, but both these fans are moving a nice amount of air. The system is doing things now. I think it just went into a reboot loop, but I'm not sure. Holy crap! Getting devices ready. Windows 8, you son of a bitch, you are awesome. So it detected that it was on a new motherboard and processor, and it pretty much went into like a refresh mode / install mode, and is going to install everything. Wow. Holy crap. If this was Windows 7, you'd be at blue screen alley. That is just amazing. I'm really curious to know how this system is going to run for video editing now, because rendering on that old Athlon, not old Athlon, but older Athlon quad-core took like 2 hours just to render out a 20-minute video, which was ridiculous. But come on, Windows. Holy crap, it booted to my desktop. Oh my. Wow. I don't believe it. That is so freaking awesome. You have no idea how happy I am right now, because that's like 4 hours of work saved reinstalling everything. But yeah, holy crap. It's not moving quick, it is moving incredibly slow, but I mean, this was going from a completely different chipset, different motherboard, totally different drivers, different CPU, everything. I can't believe that worked. Holy crap. Like, holy crap. You couldn't get any more different than going from that to that. Yeah, all my stuff is here. Now the big question is Windows still activated? Because Windows tends to deactivate if it detects massive hardware changes. We're gonna have to let it sit and do everything, get everything installed. But that is just freaking awesome. I don't have to reinstall anything. Wow. Like, holy crap. PC info. Let's see if Windows is still activated. I'm going to plug in my wireless piece. Let's see here. Hopefully that works for that hitch. So this detect, because right now it just says not available. Things are still doing things. I just cannot believe that worked. Like, holy crap. That is my favorite thing about Windows, is they got really smart about stuff just working. Oh, Windows is not activated. Crap. Is it gonna let me reactivate with that key? I knew it was going to do that. Windows deactivates if it detects massive hardware changes. This thing is running pretty slow, but I have this hard drive loaded up, and I have a bunch of things that are still starting up in the background, my temperature monitors and things, so gotta give it a minute. Once everything gets loaded, it'll be fine. Current product key. I'm gonna probably have to call them, so that's awesome. But alright, let me put all this down and get things sorted.